What is going on, everybody? Two videos in one day? What? Today we're going to be looking at Eddie Guerrero LWO. Now, the reason why there's two videos in one day, Showboat Luger was really good. It's a really quick video, but he is the peak of my Attitude Era collection, if you will. Him and Shamrock are the peaks. The rest of them are kind of meh, including Memrock. Kind of meh. But I wanted to end it, or I wanted to do a two-parter with the high and then the low. Eddie Guerrero is the low. If you couldn't tell, I don't have his belt set up. I went to go do it, and I just didn't want to anymore. He doesn't have a plate that rings out to me in the highest context. He doesn't have a metal setup that rings out to me in the highest context. To me, he is meh. He's if this Eddie and the Acro Eddie are the two Eddies that you got, this is the best option. And no, even Hall of Fame Eddie, this one sits above those two, 100%. But that's not saying very much. This was a request, and I'm sorry, buddy. I know that I try and make these as great as they can be. Eddie, I cannot bring past 5-star bronze. I just can't do it. His trainer ability is all I have him for. He's capped out with his trainer ability. His moves just take too long and they're too high at MP for me to justify using him in anything else. Yes, the reversal is 5 MP, but it's only 19,000 damage. And yeah, you gain half mil health. Probably gain about 1 million health at 5-star gold, but that's a third of his health. That's basically what you're looking at here. 8 MP for 3 amigos. It's a long animation and still doesn't do enough damage. Lasso from El Paso is the color submission to refill the 3 amigos. Yeah, the recycling's good. I think if they lowered the MP costs, if say the 3 amigos was like a 6 MP and the lasso from El Paso was an 8 MP, I think this would be more justified. But in the time of this recording, it's not justified, and he is just lowballed. So I went takedown because of the health increase. I'm going against 4-star bronzes because against anything higher than this, 4-star gold is the cap, basically. You're not doing enough damage to drop a 5-star gold quickly. You're doing just enough damage to drop a 5-star silver mildly fast. But really, outside of that, there's not a lot going on with this. I wish there was. I wish that Eddie would be, or more respect would be paid to Eddie than what it has, and it's just not. So, I it upsets me to the highest possible ability that they did this to a legend like Eddie Guerrero. Ultimately, like, we'll go and move. We'll go to a different tour. We'll try and go a little bit faster. To me, Eddie is always going to be that superstar that I look back fondly on. You know, lie, cheat, steal, his whole mantra and stuff like that. Was it good moving forward in the future? Not really. You don't want to apply that stuff to real life. But as a character in the WWF, at the time WWF, WWE now, at that time he was... It's going to take me a minute to find a tour for him, so give me a second here. He was that rebel that we liked because he just did things in a fun way, and I truly appreciated it. I appreciated the way he presented himself and stuff like that. And nowadays, he's looked back fondly by everybody who is a wrestling fan. In games, he is meh at best, and that bothers me. So we'll try against this Randy Savage. Randy is, I believe, newer than LWO Eddie, but still in the same realm, so we should have a pretty fair fight. He's sitting at almost 2 million health, so we're gonna be able to. I'm gonna be able to show you the rotations and stuff like that, and why the kick out is viable. The reason why I have takedown on him is I believe it affects the health increase. We'll check here in a second when it's my turn. Yeah, it affects the health increase. So you're going to gain 722,000 health at 5-star bronze, which is not bad in the least, especially for maintaining the fight. By no means is he quick. By no means is he going to change the world for you. Maybe on tours for requirements, he's good. Feuds, not so much. You're just going to avoid pinning me, aren't you? You're going to make this fight last as long as possible, aren't you, Mr. Savage? Because you're savage. And it doesn't help that I have to move the pin bar all the way over to that side of the freaking field just to charge up the lasso from El Paso. So he does have a finisher that does damage and can end the fight, but he ultimately takes away half of his own health, especially at 5-star bronze. He takes away half of his own health just to do the finisher. So basically, I see the way that they built him. They built him to be able to regain all of his health back with the kick out. The problem is you have to get to the kick out. So maybe when it was 5-star gold or 5-star bronze was just released, maybe at that time he was beneficial. I don't really recall. I got him after that. But his time's just over. And that's, like I said in the Luger video, that's all Attitude Era is anymore. Is a fond memory that the current generation was built off of, but it is not represented very well in gameplay, especially for this game. So we'll gain back our health. We're only going to do 36 now. I truly believe if this kickout was switched to steal health instead of gain health, I think it'd be a little bit better, which is probably where they were going to go with it. And the fact that the takedown increases the health is kind of weird. But, you can stay in the fight pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's not going to be something that you want to run in feuds. It's definitely not something you want in boss battle. And it's for sure not something you want in showdown. But if Eddie is required, then at least he can clear the requirements for you for those bonus points, basically. To me, Eddie is bonus points for low ball stuff. Right? That's just kind of where he sits. Let's see if we can pin him off of this. Now, I guess one thing you could do is you could put in Hall of Fame Taker to increase this gem damage a little bit more on this choose move. You can always do more choose. Let's try that. Let's not give up on Eddie 100% right at this moment. Again, one of those moments you're not really doing a case for yourself here, bud. I know you want to, you're aching for it, because so am I, but just not there. Just not there. So instead of increasing the health on that kick out, the reason I went for health on the kick out solely because the last time I had to use them was a requirement and I was facing a 5-star gold that I knew if I didn't have that health, I was just dead in the water. So we'll switch out Andre and we'll go gem damage, go with Taker. We're going to switch out Austin for Generator. And 40%'s not going to do it, so we'll go with Dolph. I think it's ironic that for Eddie Guerrero, his moveset or his trainer set, only one card out of all of these is actually viable still. Whereas all of these other ones are basically locked in their trainer portion because they're not good. Dolph wasn't good with to begin with. I think he was brought in strictly because he was part of the main roster, and they had to have main roster at the beginning of this. But essentially, I think what I need to do with Eddie is if I have to use him, then it's focusing gem damage and that kick out. So quarter of a mil off of that, and then you just use the submission to recharge the choose gem and to lock down their moves. Really, if you want to, you can. You can always go for more submission turns, I guess, to make sure that they can't do anything to you ever. But still up for debate. I really wish that Eddie would be better. I keep saying it because it's a fact. I just want him to be better. I want them to put out an Eddie that basically is like the way Acro Eddie used to be. So back in the day, I sound so old saying that, but back in the day, Acro Eddie was the best Eddie. He was Submission City. You could not get out of it. He stole. Basically, his kit was his mantra. It was lie, cheat, and steal. It was steal your health, cheat with a submission to make sure you're locked out, and refill, and just continue that whole shebang. It was worth it. And then he faltered off. Ironically, and I think it's hilarious, is he fell off about the time everyone actually started pulling him. Because I know people who spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm one of those people trying to get Acro Eddie and just couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden he was free. And that should scream out to you. If a card is free, the card is dead. Let's put it that way. Now, there is some free cards every month that are the month-long cards that are worthwhile. Dakota Kai, for instance, is one of those ones. Zombie Dominic is another one. Okay, so that worked out a lot better. So I guess really, if you want to, you can take him gold if you feel it necessary. If you just need to take him up or something like that for requirements, you can go gold, go pure, or go with this setup, especially for tours. Anywhere else, don't use him. Just don't. This setup went a lot faster than the other setup. You can go full Fury for Fury 2, whatever. Get Hall of Fame Taker up there. Dolph Ziggler plus Taker equals value. I still think you need to put on the yellow move damage for the health. I still think that you need a 200% yellow gem move or yellow move damage medal for that kick out or for that health increase. But outside of that, he's lackluster at best. So we went from the highest of highs with the Attitude Era to the lowest of lows. I could go a lot lower of who's fallen from grace, aka. Oh no, let's go to where I can actually see the requirements here. Was it this node? I don't think it was this node. I think it was this node. Come on. Where you at, fool? Okay. If I really want to go to the lowest of lows, it's Zombie Austin. If there is any card in this game that has plummeted to the bottom of the barrel, it is Zombie Austin 1000%. But, you know, I remember the day that I got Acro X-Pac and felt like my whole roster shifted in a positive direction. Now I look at him and go, why? He's solely 5-star silver and maxed because of an event and the fact that I pulled his fuse. That's it. If anything, he'd be 5-star bronze like Stinger here. Sting's another one that fell. Acro Eddie. You know, APA or Bradshaw. JBL, sorry. All of these cards used to be so good and they're just not now. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, comment if the comments are available. And the way I'm ending all my videos now, life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you guys in the next video.